Well, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to RobMotive Live, Wednesday edition. Sitting out here in deep South Texas. It's humid, it's hot, and I like it. Now, let's get the weather out of the way because people always ask me. So I'm going to tell you right now it is 80, looks like 4 or 5 degrees, something like that out here. Heard a noise. I don't know what that is. We, of course, have to take a look outside at the weather. You guys can see there. It is mostly cloudy, I would say today. A little bit breezy, a little bit windy, but nonetheless, it looks pretty good to me. Much better than being somewhere where it's 40 degrees or less with snow on the ground. I don't know, does anybody have snow on the ground right now? I pity you if you still have snow on the ground. What a bummer. Let's see, 909 Boys says, howdy. How you doing? Good to have you here. Thanks for joining. Troy Build Adventures, have you tested the AC yet in the new Tacoma? Well, what do you mean by tested? Have I used it? Absolutely. I mean, you use AC down here most of the time. It's very rare that you don't have the AC running. So yes, and it's fine. I don't have any issues with it. I set it at about 74, 5, usually 4 degrees, and it works really, really well. Jeff Fielder. Good morning, Rob. Jeff, how you doing there, buddy? So the purpose of today is to talk about what the new Tacoma is missing. It's missing what? There are some things missing, and I suppose if you're in the market for the new Tacoma, which by the way is sitting right there, in case anybody didn't know, I bought a 2024. It is a TRD Sport. That's right. It has the faux hood scoop on the roof, or the roof. I hope it's not on the roof. You know, as functional as it is, it might as well be on the roof, but it's not on the roof, on the hood. I think I might put some lights in there. I don't know. I did like a little poll a while back asking you folks what you thought about putting lights in the spoiler up there. And it was kind of mixed. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. I think it'd be cool to have some lights right across there, like about 4 lights or so. Have to figure out how to do it. I'd have to remove that hood scoop. Not sure if I'm real keen on doing that, but it's never stopped me before, so what the hell? Why not, right? Let's see. John says, morning, Rob. Hope all is well. It's missing 2 cylinders. Well, it is a 4-cylinder turbo, but what it's not missing is power. It's got great acceleration. I do have the pedal commander on it now. And what the pedal commander does with this truck, because it's pretty powerful anyway, it refines it. It gives you even a little bit more, a little bit smoother or better acceleration. I highly recommend it. I love it. I'm running it on this truck. I was a little skeptical, frankly, even myself. And I'm an affiliate. I admit it. I'm an affiliate. It's no secret. But I was a little skeptical. Does this truck need it? But it really does make a difference, even on this truck. It's awesome. I've been running Sport. Sport plus 3, I think, is where I'm at right now. I go back and forth to 4 to 6, whatever, depending on what I want to do and what I want to experience. But anyway, highly recommend it. It's awesome. There is a link down below if you want to check it out. Let's see. 909 Boys. Red all the way, 1. Absolutely. This color on this truck, look at that. It's just striking. Especially when it's clean. It's not clean, and you're out in the bright sunshine. It's awesome. It is supersonic red, by the way. A Samosa, are you planning to get the TRD Pro in the near future? No way am I getting the Pro. You know, I did a video recently about the pricing. You're looking at somewhere between probably 65 and 70 grand after tax and tags and title and whatever stuff is added to it before you get it. So the answer is no, I am not. I am going to live with, it's a big sacrifice. I'm going to live with this truck for the foreseeable future. unless or until, more likely the case, Toyota brings down the price either through an MSRP drop or incentives and things like that on the hybrid versions. Now, that doesn't mean, I'll leave myself a little bit of an out there. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't be interested in a hybrid TRD Sport or off-road or even an SR5 when, and it's when, it's not if, Toyota actually brings the hybrid to the other trim levels. And I'm sure that they're going to. It's just a matter of time. Although from reports I'm hearing about the hybrid, I don't know. It's not really much faster, and the fuel economy is really not that much better. So I don't know if it's worth it. I mean, it's going to be more money, right? I don't know if it's worth it to spend more money to get the hybrid versus what I have right now, which is pretty damn quick, and it's getting about 18.7 miles per gallon just around town. No real freeway driving with that, which is pretty good compared to the 14 or 15 I was getting in my third gen. So I'm pretty happy with it. And the fuel economy is increasing, by the way. It is not going down. Paul Harris, good morning, Rob, and that would be an excellent idea. I wanted to do that to my older truck, but it never got around to doing it. But excellent idea. Thank you. It's something, I'm going to do it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. Elizardo, what's up, Rob? Happy Wednesday to all. Elizardo, good to have you here. I hope your Wednesday's going well. So what is the third generation Tacoma missing? And I'm sure I'm not capturing everything. Ron here. Hello, Rob. Do you notice a difference in the Toyota transmission? I never really, well, let me back up. I didn't have any problem with this gear hunting thing people talk about because I live in a valley. It's all flat. So I never was going up and down hills and things, and the transmission doesn't have to shift like mad. But that said, it is much smoother. It is much smoother than it was before. So if you didn't like the last transmission, I think you're going to love this 8-speed paired with this 4-cylinder turbo. It is a great match, I gotta say. Mike S. says, hi, Rob. Hey, Mike, how you doing? So, first thing, this new truck, the 2024 Tacoma is missing. Before I get to that, if you're just clicking in here, click that subscribe button if you would. I'd really appreciate it. Number one, power seats. Of course, Toyota put out the power seats, and then they stuck it as a standard option, it seemed, in the mid to higher trim levels on the previous Tacomas, the third gens, right? Well, it's not anymore. It's a package deal. Or you have to get it in a package, I guess, or upgrade to an even higher trim level. It's a package thing. So it's going to cost you more money than just the base MSRP, if you will. Do I miss it? No, I don't miss it. And I'll tell you what, the seats in this truck are more comfortable. You know, I had the electric seats in my 2023, and I had to put seat jackers in them. And this should be something people are complaining about, right? I had to put seat jackers in them because the front thigh support area didn't lift up high enough. I always felt like my legs were hanging over the edge, like I was sitting on the side of a cliff somewhere. I don't feel that in this truck. They've designed the seats in such a manner that you get good under thigh support. And that can be very uncomfortable if you're spending a lot of time in the truck. If you had that problem before without the seat jackers, definitely an improvement in this seat, that's for sure. Number two, there's still no driver's side grab handle. I mean, what the hell? Why is Toyota so averse? I know, because somebody got injured. They got in a wreck. They hit, this is what I've heard, and take this with a grain of salt. It may not be true. But what I've always heard is somebody got in a wreck, their head went forward. I don't know how they managed that before the airbag deployed, but anyway, they hit their head on that grab handle on the driver's side. So Toyota panics, they removed it. Nobody gets one now. And they still don't. We still don't have it. And to make matters even worse, the grab handle on the passenger side is smaller. It's basically a slot where you can hopefully stick your fingers in and kind of latch your fingernails over the edge and pull yourself that way, right? I don't know why they even put it in. They should have just removed it. But I guess people can't say it's not there. It is, but it's kind of a joke, I think. Chad Kernatz, Chad is in green, as you may notice. That's because he is a channel member. And if you want to check that out, there's a join button somewhere on your screen. You can click that, see what that is. Chad says, howdy Rob, what's up on my lunch break? Eating pizza. I had pizza the other night from a local place here in South Texas. It was a pesto sauce pizza. I think the second time I've only ever had that in my life, and man, was it good. Had like Canadian bacon and sausage and cheese. Yeah, I don't get all those other things. I would have liked to have had mushrooms, but it's okay, I can live. It was freaking tasty, man. I ate a lot. Need to go on a diet again, I think. You know, I made a video the other day. It was a different view. This is funny. I knew I was going to get this. It was a different perspective. It was in the center console area where the phone sits, where the charger is. And it looked up at me from that angle. So, of course, it shows me from the stomach up, if you will. Oh, Rob, your stomach's bouncing around. Oh, Rob, you got a squirrel in there? Oh, I mean, all kinds of stuff. I knew it was going to happen because, you see, the trolls, they pick on everything they can find. Whatever. Your nose is too big. Your hair's too short. Your hairline's receding. Your ears are too big. I mean, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's funny. It's like, sometimes it's like dealing with a bunch of 3-year-olds. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff. Anyway, no driver's side grab handle. Forget about it. The crawl control. 4x4 option, obviously. And it might have even been a TRD off-road option. I'm not sure. I do not have crawl control in this truck. Do I miss not having crawl control? No. What's to miss? Not being able to look up there and see that little dial that I never used. I never even activated it on my 3rd gen, my 2023. It was a complete waste of money. Talk about waste of money. You see, people complain about the truck being so expensive, but they never complain about the options and things that they say they want on their trucks that they never use, like 4-wheel drive. This is a 4x2, by the way. I am a proud 4x2 owner. Oh, but Rob, it's not a truck. It's a 4x2. Oh, baloney. It's a truck. It just doesn't have 2 extra wheels that spin and all that equipment and weight and everything that goes with it, right? Anyway, no crawl control. I never used it. I take that back. I used it once. It was in a parking lot with a salesman when he was trying to show me how it felt and how much it grabbed and how good it was going to be. For what? Driving on the freeway? Driving down my driveway? I don't know. I never used it. Don't miss it. No big deal. Number 4. I think it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, the bed cubby. I'm kind of up in the air about this one. There is no bed cubby in this truck. And I believe you can get a bed cubby, or at least a door, if you go with the option for a compressor. You can get a compressor, I think, to put in the back, and that's when you would have a cubby to be able to fit it in there. That's an option, probably part of a package or something. The cubby. You know, what I had before was that little cubby right next to the plug, right? It was a little cubby rather, about this big, had a little cheapo plastic handle on it, and the whole door came out. I mean, you know, it really was a pretty chintzy thing, but you could put stuff in there if you wanted to, like gloves, or maybe a couple of tie downs, or maybe a squirrel, I don't know. I never really used it for anything. I tried to use it. I even put a lock on one in my 2020 Tacoma, and I also put one in, I can't remember which one it was. I lose track. One of the other Tacomas, I might have said Tundra. One of the other Tacomas I had, I actually put one in, and I still never used it. Why? Because it's not waterproof. You have 2 holes in the bottom for drainage. Well, if it can drain out, it can flow in, right? And that's what would happen. Things would get wet inside there. So what are you really going to put in there? Cloth gloves? They'll get ruined. Leather gloves? They'll rot. Tie downs? They'll rot. You ever go use a tie down, put one end on whatever it is you're securing it to, and pull that thing and have it snap? It is not a pleasant experience. You don't want rotten tie downs. So they took it out. I don't miss it. I really didn't use it anyway, so it's not that big a deal to me. Uno, Roberto, hello bud, what's missing on your taco? We are running through the list right now. There's a few things, and I'm sure there's more. Wayne Scott, did you see my comment above? You know, Wayne, you may have said something like that before, and either your comments are not coming through, or you're not hitting enter, or they're so bad they're being blocked. I don't know, but there is no comment above from you. I don't know what to tell you. Chad Kranatz, make sure you give the thumbs up. Yeah, make sure you give me a thumbs up and click that subscribe button while you're in here. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks, Chad. Thank you. Uno says, Chad, save me a slice. Bro, me too. It's getting towards lunchtime here. I am hungry, but I am soldiering it out to be with you guys. That's right. That's what I'm doing. Alex, the V6, a diesel, a V8. Those are things that it doesn't have, but frankly, it's not missing them because they're not available. I don't know when, if ever, the Tacoma had a diesel or a V8. So it can't really be missing them. There is no more V6, so it isn't really missing that. You may want it. And I'm curious, since you make that comment, if this truck, everything else being equal, if it had a V6, would you be interested in it? A little sip of the green nectar while we ponder that possibility, right? There's not much better than that, I'm telling you, man. Uno says, Rob, are you missing the hover conversion kit? I could have swore Toyota was having that installed on the new Taco's unlimited warranty. That would be awesome. And we were supposed to have hover cars by now, right? You know, back in the 60s or 70s or whenever they were talking about the future, we'd all be driving around on hover cars, floating. Could you imagine? People can't drive now. Could you imagine if they were floating on air driving around? Oh my God, what a nightmare that would be. Let's see. Eduardo Colon was at the dealership the other day when I got my 2024 Tundra. Saw some new Tacomas, TRD Sport. Two of them had big cubbies on the passenger side. Yeah, that's probably for the compressor I'm talking about. I wonder if did you happen to look at the sticker and see if it came with a compressor? Because that's what it's for. Khalid S.A. says, hello, uncle. Still not related, brother. Brand 700. Hello, Rob. I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around $63,000 for a 4-cylinder TRD Pro. I know, you can't even notice it, and it performs magnificently. It's a lot of money. I have a threshold, 50 grand. That's my threshold. I do not see the value in spending more than that on a Toyota Tacoma. It's my rule. I'm not doing it. It's not that I can't do it. I won't do it. It's my money. There's not enough value in it for me. I am not gonna do it. Let's see. Wayne Scott, new Taco is cool, but the price with less options is wild to me. Yeah, but there's a trade-off. You get that awesome 4-cylinder turbo, which I know a lot of people don't like. I would ask those people if they've ever actually driven one. I have. I own one. It's awesome. It is a good, it is an improvement to what we had before. The technology, the looks of the truck, I mean, there are other things, right? The suspension, I mean, the brakes, everybody, you know, you don't hear any more about it now. Everybody was moaning and complaining about the rear brakes. Oh, we've got to have rear brake change. They're not any good. We don't like the brakes. Why doesn't Toyota? So Toyota does, and you don't hear a word about it. Isn't that funny? You know why? It's because the frickin' brakes always worked before. I never once had an instance where I stepped on the brakes in my Toyota Tacoma and the brakes didn't work. And guess what? They still work. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Let's see. Uno says, yeah, Doc and Marty lied to us. They did, didn't they? Alex says, yeah, I don't mind the gas mileage of the V6. Yes, it has its downsides, as does everything else. Well, of course, everything does. Nothing's perfect. If it were, we'd all be driving Toyota Tacomas. There wouldn't be any other vehicles, right? Eduardo says, big. Yep, I got you. No compressor, just a big cubby. Gotcha. It's there for the compressor if you want to put one in. That's the reason it has that big cubby in the bed. Justin Stevenson says, 4-liter V6 with turbo, then I would get one. But wait, It would have a turbo, and we all know turbos are not reliable, right? Why would you buy one with a turbo in it? Are you nuts? It's never gonna last. That's what the detractors would have you believe. I think it would be awesome. I'd buy one too, as long as it didn't cost over 50 grand. And that's the other thing. I love all the people out there complaining about, you know, the new Tacoma and its pricing. What do you think the Tacoma would cost if they did all these things people want to do? I had somebody the other day, and not to get political, but they were dogging Chinese parts. Now, I wish everything was made right here in the good old USA, right? Just as much as everybody else. But let's be honest, if that were the case, this truck probably be $100,000. It's just economics. If a business can buy something cheaper somewhere else, they will, because guess what? If they don't, and they pass the cost on, which they'd have to because they're in it to make money, they're not a charity, we wouldn't buy it. I mean, come on. I love when people make those kind of comments, and I'm like, really? Have you ever taken an economics class? I mean, you know, come on, man. Again, I am all for it, but it just isn't realistic. We wouldn't buy them. Let's see. John Caggiano. I'm sorry, I know I've messed it up before. Think it's missing the roof rack. Would look good on yours with the lift. I don't know. I'm up and down about roof racks. I mean, I might put one on, I might not, I don't know. You know, since I've decided to keep this truck for a while, I might do that. I have the electrics hooked up for extra lighting and stuff. I would do it differently than I did in the past, honestly. And probably try a different roof rack. We'll see. I know there's holes up there for a roof rack, so I don't know. We'll find out. Brand 700. When are we going to see the new wheels? Did I miss it? You did not. It's coming. You know, as a YouTuber, you have to shoot videos in advance because there's no way I could shoot videos daily and have them come out daily. The one that I just shot, it's all I would do. So it's scheduled, it's coming, just be patient, it's coming. You can see the old wheels right back there. They're for sale, by the way, locally. But it's coming, you didn't miss anything. Mike S., and four-wheel disc conversion kits on older Tacomas are expensive. Well, that shouldn't matter because people claim they're so much better. Why wouldn't you just go ahead, pony up the money and put them on? I mean, if there's that much benefit in it, why wouldn't you do it? Because there isn't. Let's see. Taco Hog. What's up at Rob Live? I got the new Tacoma for almost 3 months now. TRD Sport, all black. What do you think of it? Are you still digging it? Do you have regrets? I assume you had a third gen before. What do you think of it? Wayne Scott, I guess we, the community, are ultimately concerned about lifting, adding bigger tires, overall modding this four-banger with turbo, and it not being able to handle the extra weight and extra stress. So far, I have lifted mine. I have put different wheels and tires. The tires are heavier, and there's another option that you've probably seen already. But I'm not going to scoop myself. I've added weight. I don't notice it at all. Now, I do have the pedal commander installed, so, you know, maybe it's not a fair stock comparison, but I haven't noticed anything with it. It is still quick, fast, and awesome. Taco Ho, I got a 2.5 inch lift in the front and a 1 inch in the back, plus a lot of other mods. Awesome. See, you can still do mods to the new Toyota Tacoma. It is not unmoddable now. I've been doing stuff myself. Again, there will be videos coming up on that. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out. Don't forget to click that notification bell too. Then you won't miss out on anything. And you'll know when things like the new wheel and lift combination come out, things like that. Uno says, Mike S., I'm thinking about making a rear disc brake conversion, not sure yet. Uno, why? Seriously, I want to know why. What would doing that give you in your truck that you don't have now? That's assuming you don't want to do it just for the experience of it. I mean, if you want that, then I certainly understand. That makes perfect sense. But what are you going to gain by putting different brakes on the back? Mike S. says, very cool at Uno. Mike, I'll ask you the same thing. Why is that very cool? What is he going to gain by doing that? I mean, for the cost and the hassle, and I mean, you know, I don't get it. Uno says, Rob, probably for the looks. Gotcha. All right. And that makes sense to me. I mean, I've done a lot of mods that are not necessarily functional for aesthetics, you know, for the looks. So I certainly get that. A pork chop guy. Hey, is it true that the new key is a card? In the Tacoma? No, that is not true. Uno says slotted discs. That would look good. All right, let's move on right now. Next up on my list, number 5, no bed plug. There's no bed plug. I have got no power in my bed in the rear. Do I miss that? No, I don't miss it. You know what I used it for? One time I made a video to test it for the channel, and I think I plugged a hair dryer in it. You know, I had just gotten out of the shower. My hair was sopping wet in my eyes, blowing all over the place, and I wanted to dry it. So not really, my hair's, you know, short. Not gone, short. So anyway, I tested it. Worked fine, no big deal. But I've never used it. I don't miss it. I think not having it is actually better for me because I don't have to worry about problems with it. You know, it's an electrical exposed, I guess, connection back there. Of course, it has a cover and all that, I understand. But throw something in your bed sometime and clip that cover and see what happens. Now you're going to have a coverless plug back there that you're going to have to screw with, especially if you don't use it, like me. I don't use it, so who cares? Let's see. Where was I? Probably for looks. Is it true? Oh, no. Same here, Rob. I probably used my rear plug just once since I've had my truck just to test it out. Right, so who cares? What's the point in not having it? I mean, I realize, you know, they take things away from us and we don't like that. Toyota took away, and I've got like 8 or 9 things here. We're going to soldier on through the list in a second. They take things away and we don't like it, and I understand that because then you feel like you're still paying for things that you had before. But keep in mind, we got the different engine, different transmission, different suspension, different wheels and tires, different interior. All of that is expensive. So getting rid of these things without compensating us for them, they are compensating us for them in the form of other things that they've put in the truck. Whether you like them or not, you know, that's kind of on you. You know, I don't know. Let's see. Taco Hog says, lift and off-road fender flares and more to come. Awesome. Flabba Jabba Wabba Haba. Honda forever. I think you've stumbled into the wrong forum. But hey, I like Hondas. Now we've got, I just can't leave you in here with that handle. It's what's the right word? What am I thinking of? It's in poor taste and offensive, I think. So, you know, grow up, man. I mean, you know, come on. There's no humor in that. LTD73 says exhaust. You wouldn't want to do anything with the exhaust on this truck. I wouldn't change the exhaust on this truck because I don't understand why I would do that. Now the guy got my attention, so he's coming back. So I got to put him in timeout. We'll leave him in timeout for a little while. We'll see. Just an offensive name. I mean, what are people? You know, children? This is for 18 and over. You know, and I would think by the time you reach the age of 18, some of that would leave you, but it doesn't for some people. I don't know. They probably think it's just hilarious. I can just see them on the other end right now laughing their arse off because who knows? Anyway, no, I would not do an exhaust on this truck. I don't think you'd get anything out of it. I mean, it is a 4-cylinder turbo, right? Even the 6 cylinders, you know, doing an exhaust to the 6 cylinder was, I mean, you got more noise, and if you're looking for more noise, well, you're going to get that. Little sip of the green nectar here. Not sponsored, by the way. For anybody out there, the conspiracy theorists, oh, Mountain Dew's paying him to, they're not. I wish they were. I really do, but they're not. Let's see. Patrick Bellasort. I have a third gen. I get a lot of use from the plug when camping. Works really good in my experience. And that's the only time that plug in the back would be good. If you're an avid camper, I understand. But I would say, you know, a lot of people are not and never, ever use that plug like me. Let's see. Mike says maybe a front skid plate. I know it's two-wheel drive, but maybe. We're going to get to that in just a minute, Mike. Lee Fleming says, use mine to power my pellet stove in a power outage. Not bad, but how long was your power out? I'm really just curious, that's all. Denise, hello, how are you? You look very happy. That makes me happy. I am pretty happy. I'm generally pretty happy, most of the time, you know. Carlos Strine, Honda is okay. I had a great experience with Toyota, so I prefer them. I like Hondas. I've had Hondas. There's nothing wrong with Hondas. Uno says, Denise, you sound happy. I like that. I noticed. Let's see. The C130 side. Sounds like a Mercedes fan right there. Waiting for 4Runner LC. There's not going to be one on this channel. I'm not a 4Runner fan. There's nothing wrong with 4Runners. If you dig them, I don't. It's just not my thing. But Michael Dyer, does the 4th gen come with as much chrome as the 2nd and 3rd gens did? I have a 2015 Limited in the chrome. No, it doesn't. That's one thing I really liked, at least about the sport trim level. It does not come with a ton of chrome. Now, it did have the blackout package, so the badges were actually black badges. They weren't just overlays on top of chrome. They're black all the way through, which is awesome. Love that. Denise, do you think it's a good idea to put big wheels and tires on these turbo 4 cylinders? I don't know if I think it's a good idea to put gigantic wheels and tires on any, unless you're running a V8. I mean, they're power suckers, right? You put those big heavy tires, big wheels, you're gonna lose comfort and you're gonna pull around a lot of weight. So I don't think the 4-cylinder really has anything to do with that, in my opinion. Lee Fleming says 4 hours. Yeah, that's not too bad. I've been out for a couple of days before, and that would really come in handy if I didn't have power for 4 days. But 4 hours, probably more, was just for fun for you to try. I mean, be honest. You just wanted to whip out that pellet stove and do something during the power outage. Am I wrong? I don't know. It's what I do. A pork chop guy. What are your opinions on Tesla? Well, you know, Teslas, I mean, I don't know. I like Teslas. I mean, I don't really have any issues with Teslas. I think they're freaking awesome. Awesome. I love the Tesla. Great alternative. The only ding I have against Tesla is I still don't believe we live in a world that is set up for all electric vehicles. In other words, I don't want to drive and have to stop and sit at a charger for half an hour, whatever it is, and try to find them and plot my trip based on where the charger, you know, I don't like any of that. So for me, Tesla is an awesome local driver, you know. Uno says, Rob, take care, Taco brother. Got to get back to work. Leaving the thumbs up, and everyone here, please thumbs up on the live for this cool dude. I stand behind everything Uno just said. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for being on. And by the way, I'm going to add to Uno's comment and ask for your subscription. Please go ahead and click the subscribe button while you're in here as well. I'd really appreciate it. Taco Hog says, 275/70 R18s, KO3s. Nothing wrong with that. A pork chop guy laughing like a madman. I don't know. Michael Dyer, good to know. I've thought about plastic dipping the grill bumper and emblems, then replacing the handles. Glad to hear there's options for the blackout package. Yeah, and they did a good job. There's not, I mean, you can see, you've got your obvious chrome or silver in the headlights and down there in the fog lights. And that's really it. Some on the tail lights, I guess, but you have to have that for reflective purposes, right? Doesn't have any other chrome on it. My kind of truck, you know what I'm saying? Jesse says, that's right, Rob. Thank you. I love it when people agree with me. Carlos Strine, thumbs up, done. Thank you, Carlos. We got 76 people on here and only 17 people like it. I don't know. Let's move on with the list. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No rear window slider. No rear window slider. You know, the window in the window? You don't have that anymore, at least not in a baser level. This is a TRD Sport. It used to be standard. Now you have to get into a package to have that rear window slider. It's going to cost you more money and you're going to get other stuff, right? I mean, in the packages includes other things that you may or may not want. Do I miss the rear slider? No, I don't. I never used it. Why? Because I live in South Texas where it's hot and it's humid and we got a lot of bugs and gnats and mosquitoes and wasps, and you open that rear window and it's like opening up an insect motel, right? They all come in to join you. I don't dig that. The gnats down here are horrible. We're in a period right now where I don't have any. A couple, 3 weeks ago, I was fighting them out here. About a month ago, I couldn't sit out here like this because of the mosquitoes. And I'm in my garage, man. I'm not like sitting next door to a standing pool of water. I still get them here. Not to mention, as I said, the heat, the humidity. It's so freaking hot down here that you never want to open that. It's like the sunroof. You never want to open that sunroof up because all it does is let that sun beat down on your head. And it's hot. So no, I don't miss it at all. I'm glad it's gone. And honestly, they changed the appearance of it. It's more like the Ford Portal. Have you ever noticed on the back of a Ford, it's like a smaller kind of interior type portal style window? It's more square. That's what they went to. Now, I don't hate that look myself, but it is smaller. So even if you get that rear slider, it's only about yay big. It's way too small in my opinion, if Toyota's gonna have it at all. Let's see. Dan Gortz. Sorry, I tried. Late to the chat. Are you noticing much difference in miles per gallon between your Gen 3 and Gen 4? Yeah, about 4 miles per gallon so far. And mine is still climbing. About 4 miles per gallon. Rob, you're the man. Rob. Well, Rob, I appreciate that. Thank you. Lee Fleming, the pellet stove is my only source of heat, and it gets cold in Oregon. Admittedly, it was cool to try it out. I got you. I mean, I'm the same way. You know, if I've got an option like when I had the plug in the back of the Tacoma, you know, I'll plug something in to try it. I don't really need to use it. I mean, I didn't have to dry my hair. I don't use a hair dryer. But it was interesting to plug in anyway, just to see how it worked, you know? James Brace, I love me 3rd gen. Well, that's good. One should love the vehicle they're driving. Chad Kranatz, I got to go. Lunch break is over for me. Rob, have a great week. Talk to you later. Bye. Chad, again, thanks for being on. Thanks for being a channel member. I really do appreciate that. And by the way, if you notice, Chad right there has a green highlight, or his name is in green. That's because he's a channel member. It's awesome. I appreciate it. If you want to see how to become a channel member, just check the join button. It doesn't immediately make you a channel member. It'll give you information and stuff. You know, you're not committed. By the way, I wish you would commit. Smash that subscribe button if you would. I'd really appreciate it. Let's move on to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7. Rear under seat storage covers. We used to have covers. Remember those cheapo, chintzy, flimsy plastic lids on the back, on the storage bins, if you will, under the seats on the Tacoma? They're gone. We don't have those. At least I don't in the TRD Sport. I don't think any. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say that no trim level in the Tacoma has that. Is it a bad thing? Not really. I honestly found them to be in the way in the past. I always had to screw with them. You know, you never know, and certainly you guys have done this. You never know whether or not the little handle thing that you have to turn is locked or open. So you always have to get in there, screw with that, pull them open. They're in the way. They don't provide any security. I mean, they're just a flimsy plastic. Even if it was locked, I could break it or rip it off with my bare hands. That's how flimsy it is. We don't have them in the new Tacoma. It's not a big deal for me. I don't really care. I honestly prefer having that space open now so that when I flip the seat up, which by the way, flips up the other way now, so they did change that. No longer does it flip forward, it flips up backward. But you have instant access to that cubby area. I kind of like that. I don't miss them at all. Let's see. Chuck McDonough. I like the way the new hood scoop looks on the Sport. It's awesome, isn't it? Check that out. Look at that. It just makes it look mean. Doesn't that look mean? I think that looks mean. I dig it. I think it's cool. I'm thinking about putting some lights in it, though. I don't know. We'll see. John Beeman thought otherwise. Let's move on to number 8. The last item on my list. No steel front skid plate. What in the hell? I don't know what Toyota did here. I got to show you what we've got. Let me flip you around. If you look, right down there, you see that? Right, let me get my finger in here. Why can't I? Right there. You see that? That's the skid plate right across there, and that's an opening in the skid plate. Now, it's not there for airflow because when you get the Sport anyway, that's covered by a chin strap, an air dam. Now it's open. I don't like that. It looks unfinished. What I'm going to be doing is replacing that with a new hood scoop. Let's see. Somebody wants to ask a question. You can ask me a question, and now it's just ridiculousness. We've got another child in here. Let's remove that. I'll have to put them in timeout if they can't behave themselves. There we go. Michael says, which is better? LOL. I'm not sure what your meaning is there. Which is better with what? The 2023 or the 2024? I love the 2024. It's awesome. But I also love the 2023. It's not like since I got the 2024, now all of a sudden I'm going to sit here and tell you that the 2023 or the 3rd gen sucks. That's simply not true. The 3rd gen Tacoma is still awesome, still one of the best trucks on the road. Arguably, I would say it's now the 2nd best midsize truck out there because we now have the 4th gen, which I would give the crown to. And what I'm going to be interested in seeing, honestly, is how sales are on this truck. You know, is Toyota going to be able to maintain their #1 spot with the 4th gen Tacoma right there? Are they going to be able to maintain their lead with this truck, or did they truly make a mistake and something is not going to be good for that truck? That's what I'm really curious to know. I guess we'll find out down the road. Who knows? Anyway, those are the 8 things that are missing in this new Tacoma. I gotta say, the only one out of this whole list that makes any difference to me is that front skid plate. I really do think it should be a steel front skid plate. If not, just the same plastic kind of skid plate they had on there before, because the material for what they have on there right now, it's like I don't know, it's like an impregnated felt or something. I mean, it's almost like a cloth. It's a weird feel. I don't know. Bill Field says it's going to end up in the junkyard. Well, ultimately all vehicles end up in the junkyard, don't they? I mean, really? I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate everybody being on here. I am going to sign off now and go get myself something to eat. Again, on your way out, if you haven't, please click that subscribe button wherever it is on your screen. I would really appreciate it. Helps out the channel and shows me that you guys are out there. Have a great rest of your Sunday, or I guess it's Wednesday. Got to fly out here now. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to go fly hunting. And we'll see you again on Sunday live, about the same time, if not before. Have a great day. Bye.